Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Monday edition of the Sully Squad. Hope everybody's doing good out there. We got a lot to get into. We got a struggling baseball team, although they did come up with a nice miracle win yesterday. I know our own Pat Bernard, the Gobbler, was down there with his son, so at least he got to see a win. And, we got some Sixers offseason moves. Is Matisse Thybulle on the move? Are we going to have a first-round pick? How's this team going to get better? We got the Philadelphia Flyers possibly hiring a new coach with the 5th pick overall. And Philadelphia Eagles, man, I'll tell you, Howie Roseman making some moves. I mean, we're gonna get into that as well. But we'll start off with the Phillies here. So we're a little shorthanded tonight, but it's just myself and my man Diego, Mr. 6 for 6. So how you doing, Diego?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Just sitting here, you know what I mean? Obviously, Phillies had a 2-4 homestand, and at least they got the win yesterday.
By luck, because Muncy coughed one up.
That was like a miracle.
It was kind of like they came back from that big game on us in the 9th inning when they scored like 7 runs to beat us. So we each got lucky and won against each other. So that's the way it goes.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the pitching's been pretty good. I mean, Eflin pitched a pretty decent ball game last night. Wheeler pitched a great game against San Diego.
I mean, he's going again tonight.
Yeah, well, he's going again tonight against Atlanta. Atlanta has a lefty going. So, and the Phillies have been feasting on lefties. So,
yeah.
But anyway, what's your perspective on this past week of the Phillies? I mean, obviously the hitting's really been struggling.
We were talking on the last show. Me and you said we're okay with them coming out 3-3 out of the San Diego Padre series and Dodger series, right? Is that the series?
Mm-hmm.
They ended up going what? 2-4?
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, they're right about where we said. We were talking about if they could stay around 500 come hitting season, then I think we're in a pretty good situation, because this team's numbers, like the hitting numbers, like the velocity and like the leave the park numbers, they all look like they're like amazing. We're like number 1 in every category. Our trajectory and all all statistics that nobody sees, and they're not paying off in wins yet. And I feel like that partially contributes to it's not hitting season.
Yeah, I mean, and one of the things I really wanted to get to was, the high price catcher. I mean, JT Realmuto. I mean, boy, he's struggling like crazy. I mean, I wanted to strangle him yesterday when he got caught off of third base. I mean,
he's in la la land. He's not engaged.
Yeah, I mean, what the hell is wrong with JT Realmuto? I mean, a couple years ago, Bryce Harper was playing GM. And,
he has 9 RBIs.
Yeah, that's just unacceptable. I mean,
he's batting 224, 2 homers, 9 RBIs, 30 for 123 on the season.
Yeah, I mean that's unacceptable. You know what I mean? To make that kind of money and to have 2 homers and a couple RBIs, I mean that's just ridiculous. And
what was the other guy? What was the other catcher before him? Alfaro or something like that?
Alfaro, yeah.
I'll take him for all that. 224, 9 RBIs, and 2 homers.
That's a major issue. I mean, JT Realmuto's got to get his head out of his ass, and we got our man Adam Popple checking in. Age may be catching up to him, and that's
31 now. Is 31 that old?
I mean, it kind of depends. It's
like day and age where like medicine's great and these players are playing way beyond their years. 31.
Yeah, but you know what though? The catching position, is kind of like the NFL running back. I mean, you could be like for example, look at what do you call it? Todd Gurley, running back for the Rams. He was MVP of the league, and then he gets an injury, and next thing you know, he's out of the league. Like catchers are kind of like that in baseball. Like a catcher can lose it really fast. You know what I mean?
Well, it looks like that's happening.
Yeah, we got our man.
He's like James Harden in the Phillies.
Yeah, I know, right?
You know,
Although, you know what though, for all the crap that we talked on James Harden though, he put up way better numbers than JT Realmuto is putting up though.
yeah, but in a basketball game, it's a little different.
Well, that's true.
So
We got our man Mike Lauro from the Gobbler Show checking in. Make sure you check me and Mike Lauro out this Thursday night. I'll be a special guest on his new show that's coming on. I believe it's called Mike. You have to correct me. I believe it's called the Locker Room. But we're going to discuss the NFL schedule and in particular a lot of NFC East in particular, like Eagles, Dallas, and stuff like that. So we'll be I'm happy to be the guest on Mike's show, so I'm looking forward to it. And
nice, Mike. Have a good show tomorrow, man.
Yeah, and Adam Popple right here. He's he agrees as far as like with the wear and tear. Oh, here we go. Wear and tear on a catcher. Mike Laura says it's called the Locker Room Sports Show, and it's on the Out of Box Network, a new network that's ran by our man Paul Spencer. So I'm very happy to be on as a guest on that on Thursday night. So that'll be fun. So check this out. Yeah, check this out for some football talk because I got to be honest, man. I mean, I've always loved baseball. I'm still a baseball fan, but I could talk football all year round. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like baseball's changed. It's become such a boring, long, drug out game that it was. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, just the way it felt back when, I don't know, when the Phillies were really good in like 08, 09, when I first started really getting into baseball. Mm-hmm. It seems so boring nowadays.
Yeah, I know. And you know what? I think a lot of it's like this launch angle bullshit. You know what I mean? Like look at Kyle Schwarber. Kyle Schwarber's hitting what, like 200? But I think he's one of the league leaders in home runs. I think he's got like 10.
Yeah, Schwarber's batting 203. He's got 10 homers, 22 RBIs.
Yeah, I mean, but that's that there used to be a player back in the day. I think his name was Rob Deere. He used to play for Milwaukee. He would be like the classic example. He would hit like he would be like Kyle Schwarber. He hit like 212, but he'd hit you like 35 to 40 bombs. But I remember thinking of him as sucking. You know what I mean? Like he would be like all or nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Dave Kingman was another guy that was kind of like that. Although I think even Dave Kingman hit better. Yeah, here's Adam Popple agree. Yeah, he said Rob Deere or Dave Kingman.
Well, I just feel like baseball used to be like, all right, this leadoff guy, he gets on base. He gets a single, he gets on base. Remember like Juan Pierre for like the Marlins?
Yeah.
He would just like get on base. Somehow, some way, he'd find a way to get on base. He'd steal second, and then somebody would come up and they'd be looking for a single. They'd be looking just to drive that run in. And I feel like that's not what they look for anymore. Now they're looking for the 2-run home run when they got a man on second. When they know if you could just get it in play, and I feel like that's how it's coached. I feel like that turns people off a little bit.
Yeah, here's our man, the Gobbler, checking in. He's out of Facebook jail, my man. Pat Bernard. Hey fellas, what's up, dog? How you doing? Yeah, the Gobbler. He was over my house yesterday doing his show. So make sure you check him out on Sunday mornings at 9:00. Pat Bernard, the Gobbler. You got John Lieb. You got Paul Lukaku and Mike Lauro. So check those guys out on Sunday mornings. And Pat was down the game yesterday, and like I said, I'm glad he saw a good win. And I'll tell you, one aspect about the Phillies was really starting to be impressed because Alec Boehm's defense has really started to improve. I mean,
he's gotten better, a lot better.
Well, one of the big plays in that game yesterday was in the ninth inning. He made a really nice diving catch, and kept that game, from getting. I think the Dodgers were up by 1 at the time or whatever, and he kept them from scoring more runs. And that was a huge play,
right?
Because I mean, he puts
the bat on the ball like every time he's up. Every time he's up the bat, he gets.
Oh, I know.
He's a good hitter. He had a bad year last year. That happens in baseball. You know what I mean? But he's playing much better. Rhys Hoskins sucks. He's batting 228.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. If I was
he's got 7 home runs and 20 RBIs.
Right, and to Adam Popple's point too, he goes, he is coming up on a free agency in a year too. Well, I'll tell you, I wouldn't pay him. Scott Boras client.
I'll tell you
Hey,
what, by the numbers, Hoskins is better than Kyle Schwarber. He's batting 228 with 7 homers and 20 RBIs. Kyle Schwarber's batting 203 with 10 homers and 22 RBIs. So Hoskins got 2 less RBIs with 3 less homers.
Yeah, well, the funny thing is that in today's baseball, Hoskins will still probably get like 15 to 20 mil. I mean, 15, 20 million a year easy.
We just said it. He's exactly what with like 75, 80% of these players are striving to be. Just hit home runs.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, but that's
you said Schwarber's like one of the lead leaguers at homers. That means Hoskins ain't far behind with 7.
Yeah. So anyway, so they, what's that?
Harper's got 900. Harper has earned every single dollar. That dude's a beast.
Oh, I know.
That dude's a beast.
So, yeah. So anyway, so they were, last week was a struggle. Obviously we were 2-4. So let's get into this week a little bit. We got Atlanta coming up, and right now the Phillies are tied with Atlanta. At 19 and 22, I believe. We're both 8 games back of the Mets, which that I got to hold my nose when I say that, because I hate the Mets. You know what I mean?
They're starting to. I know I keep saying it's not hitting season yet, but they're starting to dig a hole a little bit too big. It's going to be hard to overcome.
Well, the last thing you want to be, is like 8-9 games out on Memorial Day. That's kind of hard to do, to be honest with you.
It's kind of like. If they don't start winning now, like a lot of games start reeling these series off, we're playing for a wild card.
Yeah, exactly. But hey, we haven't had playoff baseball in this town in
I'll take it.
In 11 years. So
I'll take the wild card game.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? I'll take whatever I can get.
Gotta split this series with the Braves, at least.
I was gonna say, I'm like the we can't be picky, you know what I mean? Like, we can't be like the guy in the club at like 9 o'clock that's, that has like, that has the options. We got, as a Phillies fan, we got to be the guy at the club where them ugly lights come on, you know what I'm saying? And it's like 1:32 a.m. and you're trying to take home something, I'll take a wild card game,
Yeah,
remember Out of Whack Jacks back in the day? They used to have the at the end. They used to be like, "Here come the ugly lights," and they start being,
Now I'm too young for that.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, I forget. You're only 30. Yeah, you're what, 32?
Yeah, they didn't do that when I went there.
Well, they did it when I went there. I don't know. Well, I'm not going back that far though. I'm going back like 08, 09, 2010. You know what I'm saying? It ain't that long ago,
Yeah, but I was like 18.
Oh, look at this. All right, so my boy Bill Woodmender's checking in. Damn, ugly light. Damn. Yeah. Let's see. Malik Jackson, LOL, late night in the club. Hey, man. Yo, that's true. You know what it is, man. You know what it is. When it gets to be like closing time, all of a sudden them options be dwindling. Yo, I have a saying, man. It's a girl that's a 2 at 10 is a 10 at 2. You know what I mean? Pat Bernard right here. He goes, just think they have Roman Quinn up as a backup utility player. It's embarrassing. We have nothing brewing in our farm system.
We knew that though. We knew that coming into the season. We've been known that.
Yeah, our farm system blows.
A farm system takes time. You can't do it overnight. So if you ain't got one, it's going to take years. That's all shit.
You know what? Bill Woody. Yo, I remember this back in the day. Harbor Lights. I remember me and Bill Woody used to me and Bill Woodmender used to check that place out back in the day. This was back in like the early 2000s, like when remember when Ice Cube had that song? Ice Cube had Ice Cube was big with that song. Shit, what the hell was that song? It was like right around when like the Second Friday came out. You don't know probably, Diego, because you were like a little kid. You know what I mean? Let's see what else we got. Whoops, hang on. See what else we got. Oh, and Adam Popple, he goes right here. He goes, what's worse is his Herrera starting. Yeah, Herrera blows.
He stinks.
He absolutely sucks. And no one wanted him. Doesn't that tell you something?
Tells you he was cheap.
He blows. Pat Bernard, our defense sucks. No fundamentals. Yeah, no shit. Although, like I was saying though, my man Alec Boehm, I mean, at least he's starting to catch some stuff.
Does our defense suck though? Segura's having a pretty Segura's not having a bad year at short, is he? Or where's he at? Shortstop?
I mean, Segura plays second. I mean,
he's not having a bad year at second. Bo's not having a bad year at third. Bermuda's not a bad catcher, even though he's having a bad season hitting.
Well, to your point, Adam Popple says the defense has been better than accepted.
Yeah, I don't think it's been bad. Last year, it was bad. Last year, they were losing games because I feel like the pitchers are just getting hit, and that's why they're losing. Mm-hmm. They're not making like huge bad plays. Remember the Muncy play last night? I feel like that happened to the Phillies last year once a week. Once a week, they found a way to throw something over somebody's head or make the wrong decision or something terrible happen. I haven't seen. They're not losing because of that this year.
Yeah, and to Adam's point, the bullpen's been bad. I mean, you know, I mean, Stevie Wonder can see the bullpen. This bullpen sucks, dude.
Yeah,
I mean, these guys blow.
Who's that dude? Neville? He's terrible.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's the same story every year. I mean, if we had a halfway decent bullpen, we would have made the playoffs 2 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's a big thing. Here it is. Woodmender brought up the song, The Ice Cube. You could do it, put your back into it.
Oh, that's Juvenile.
Oh, what was that?
No, that is Ice Cube. That is Ice Cube.
Yeah.
You're right.
That was the shit back in the day, dude.
Yeah, that's Ice Cube. You're right.
Yeah, the bullpen walks too many guys, and then you got
Alvarado is terrible.
Alvarado, I can't stand it. I don't like pitchers that walk people, dude.
Yo, where's our all-star pitcher in the back of the bullpen? Familiar.
Oh yeah, that was so funny. Yeah, yeah, he was an all-star like 6 years ago. You know,
he was an all-star in 2005. 17 years ago.
He's like some of them women in the club at 2:00 that are like the 10. You know, you think the dude takes her home was like, yo, she was hot like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, times be a changing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh man, that's so funny. What do we got here? Oh, Pat Bernard, the Gobbler. He goes, we're shortchanging the teams we played in the past month. Mets, Dodgers, Padres. The NL West is a gauntlet. Yeah, that's true, man.
I'm not shortchanging them, but Phillies went out and signed two big guys to compete with them teams.
Right.
So I don't want to hear, they went with a gauntlet. That's why they have a bad record. Well, if they can't beat the gauntlet, then they're not going to win shit.
Yeah, you know, the thing is about baseball too. I mean, it's like, you know, what do you always say about baseball? Like the best team in the league is going to win 60 games, or no, I think
the worst team in the league is going to win 60 games.
Yeah. Both basically, if you suck, you're going to probably win 60. If you're good, you're going to lose 60. So it's basically the 40 some games that are in between those two is what decides baseball teams. When you really look at it, and baseball's always been like that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But yeah, 3 guys decent in the bullpen. Adam Popple, Sir Anthony, I agree. Hand's been okay, and Nebel's been pretty good up until like the last week. He started to struggle. I mean, he struggled at the end of that Dodgers series out in LA, and you know, and this week we really didn't have many leads. So I mean, he didn't really get to pitch that much. You know what I mean?
He's okay, dude. At the best.
Yeah, and according to Pat said you made a good point, Diego. I don't know what it was, but it's a good point.
About how if they can't beat the gauntlet, then they can't.
Oh, yeah.
They're not contenders. So, like, if they went out and signed, you go out and sign Cassiano and Schwarber and add it to Harper, Hoskins. We can't be like, they lost to the Dodgers. That's why you went and got them dudes, to be able to put up 10 runs against the Dodgers and beat them.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, you know, I'm tired of this bullshit where like you're afraid to play people. Like you know, when you have a $200 million payroll, your balls are on the table. Like
exactly.
It's go time. We're not playing this pussy shit where we're out there like, no, we're small market. We can't compete with these guys. No, you're one of the big guys. You know,
Bryce Harper's like one of the biggest contracts in baseball. And Castellanos and Sorber got paid like the most money this all season. 2 out of the 3 top paid players. So, like, there's no excuses for that lineup getting shut out twice against the Padres. I don't care if they're going up against the Padres. You know, put up some runs. That's why you paid all these dudes.
Yeah, find a way. And Adam's got a really good point again. He goes, another form guy who doesn't look good right now is Bryson Stott. I mean,
he looked good he looked good in the preseason.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing with this farm system, though, dude. Like the Phillies historically have overhyped guys from their farm system. I mean, I've been watching since like '86, and like I remember back in the day, like I mean, they forever been messing up. Like we took this kid Jeff Jackson ahead of Frank Thomas. Nice pick. You know what I mean?
Who we take it for Aaron Judge?
Oh,
Jim Crawford.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it was Crawford. Yeah, we've always had problems drafting. You know what I mean?
Every team in the city does.
Well, especially the Sixers.
Sixers. Eagles have missed big on drafts. Phillies farm system sucks. Flyers farm system is terrible.
What? I've been hearing about the Flyers minor leaguers for years. Like just like with the Flyers, like just have a dude scout in like somewhere north is shit, like Siberia or like Sweden or some bullshit.
Russia.
Some guys that could skate. You know what I mean?
Jesus Christ. It's like they're stuck in mud, this team. I don't get it.
I hear you. So, all right, well, listen, because I want to move on to something else because, you know, the Phillies are the epitome of mediocrity. And, you know, I feel like we spent enough time on them. But real quick, what's your prediction for this? Actually, here, let's get a prediction for the Phillies Atlanta. And Pat brings up a good point. He says, do you take anything from yesterday's game for tonight's game against the Braves? Honestly, I don't, because I feel like with baseball, momentum is only as good as the next day's starting pitcher.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? But I do think the Phillies win tonight because they have Wheeler and the Braves have a lefty going, a young lefty, and the Phillies have been hitting lefties good this year. So I like the Phillies tonight. I think the Phillies take 2 out of 3 in Atlanta. What do you think, Diego?
It's 4 games, ain't it?
Is it 4? Okay, I apologize. Yeah.
4-game series.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go 3. I'm gonna go the Phillies go 3-1. The Phillies make a statement and they take 3 out of 4.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm thinking they go 3-1. That's what we got to expect them to go anyway. You know, if they're going 2-4 against good teams, you get back to a team who's just like you should be able to take 3 out of 4 from them.
Yeah, Adam Popple goes 2 out of 4. I mean, I guess realistically, that's probably, being that they're 2 evenly matched teams, that's probably what you'd hope for. And then Adam Popple goes, then they're going to lose 2 or 3 to the Mets. Well, if that's the case, then we're
got to get 3 then.
Well, I was going to say, you figure if we only win, if we basically have that kind of week, then we're looking at being 9-10 out at Memorial Day. And that's not good enough.
That's hard to overcome. I mean, it's baseball, so you can do it, but that's really hard to overcome.
Yeah, but anyway, that's the team.
Girardi needs to go. I was thinking about that earlier. I was thinking, all right, you're 19-22. If in 20 more games you're sitting right around this or worse, and nothing's really getting this team up to play, you got to move on from Girardi.
I agree.
Let's fire him.
I agree. And also his they didn't extend his contract, so he's kind of like lame duck. You know,
well, he's on the hot seat for sure.
Well, he should be. That seat should be broiling.
He changes the lineup like every day.
I know.
Like the dude's start sucks. Okay, how do you even know? Like let him play.
Exactly.
Like last year, we were all saying Alec Bohm sucked. Look at him this year. Sometimes you got to let guys play to develop, so the next year they're better.
Yeah, but you know, so anyway, so we're talking about Girardi, but I want to get into another team that obviously really disappointed us. But there's some rumors out there, and I know, Diego, we were talking about this earlier today, that we don't, you know, you think it's BS. I kind of do too, but it seems like a lot of people are talking about it, that the Lakers are really interested in Doc Rivers. And I want to get into the Sixers offseason plan, because how are we going to go from a really good team that's in the final 8 to get over this hump? So I want to get into some Sixers offseason plan, but what's your thoughts on the Doc Rivers rumors? Do you think there's any smoke to that?
I don't think there's any smoke to that. I don't think, I mean, they both clearly, I mean, I know people can say one thing and then another thing can happen, but it seemed, when you hear Maury talk, it seemed like they're definitely coming back with him. Then you hear Maxey's untouchable. So to me, it seems like they're coming back with a pretty similar team, with moving like a Tobias, a Matisse. Nothing too serious, though. Like, our core's coming back, Embiid, Harden, Maxey.
Yeah.
See, I also don't. Adam Pablo says, hopefully, where there is smoke, there is fire, right? Everything's on Doc. You know, Jason Kidd, to me, is not that great of a coach. I didn't see him calling crazy plays on the inbounds, or I didn't see them come up and run good plays, or I didn't see their defense stopping anybody. Lucas straight takes games over.
Yeah.
You don't need a coach to make him drop 45 points and step back on whoever's in front of him and knock down 35-foot three-pointers. You don't need a coach for that. Steve Kerr's a great coach, right?
Right.
The Dallas Mavericks have tried to do everything, run zone, double them, everything. What does Steph Curry do? He just finds a way to shoot over these guys and make buckets.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, Pat Bernard says it's all smoke screen talk, and then Bill Woodmender with a great point here. He misses Butler. Well, obviously, we all kind of do, and we know Embiid does, because Embiid practically gave him a beach last week.
Yeah, I mean,
but you know, the Sixers, obviously, the Jimmy Butler train is already left, but I think the Sixers need those kind of bulldog type players, like we were talking earlier, like a Pat Beverly, maybe like a Markieff Morris or somebody like that, like somebody with some dog in them that's going to get after people. Like I think this team needs to get tougher.
So Adam Pablo says Doc doesn't give young players chances. I agree, doesn't give young players chances. What do I always, like when we talk, what do we always say to the NBA? The NBA is a grown man sport. Young players don't win you championships. Paul Reeds don't win you championships. You know what I'm saying? Players like that, like, look at Miami. Do they got young players making key plays? Not really. Most of their plays come from Tyler Hero on offense, Matt Strus, right? I mean, he's young. Adebayo, Jimmy Butler, Kyle Lowry, and PJ Tucker give you the most on that team, with Oladipo and them other guys sprinkled in. They're a veteran team. That's why they're going to win, because they got the veteran role players, not the young role players.
Yeah, here goes my man Mark Doherty. He goes, yes, must get tougher. I'm hoping Springer can be a bulldog type. I agree.
Yeah, we need like a Pat Bev, someone who's like experienced that Joel Embiid's going to listen to. You know, when Pat Bev goes, come on, Embiid, let's go body that dude. The same way he was talking to Towns. If Jordan Springer does that, Embiid's like, get on my face, dude. What club do you got? If Pat Bev's doing that, all right, he's a veteran in this league. He's made the playoffs every single year he's been in the league. I think I should body this dude up.
Yeah, I was looking at an article today. They had some possibilities for some moves. One was out there, possibility of a type of guy as like a Royce O'Neal type guy from Utah.
He's a dog and a veteran.
He would be a nice acquisition, possibly. Cam Johnson from Phoenix, who I don't see them letting him go, but the premise of the article was saying that if Phoenix did decide to keep DeAndre Ayton, they may not want to go too into the luxury tax, so maybe you could find a way to possibly get a Cam Johnson. Also, you may be able to get like I said, like a Marcus Morris, or like a Pat Bev would be perfect. But if I'm Minnesota, I mean, why would I give him up? Because he actually Towns was like one of the biggest wimps in the league. And Towns actually had a lot of guts this year.
A lot of guts. A lot of guts. Like that Memphis series, even though they lost that series, that proved a lot to me. They're a way less talented team than the Memphis Grizzlies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Mark brings up a good point here. He goes, agree, we need a veteran tough guy. I'm hoping down the road on Springer. I kind of like that kid Springer too, as far
Now,
as like
wouldn't
yeah,
Pat Bev be perfect for Springer to watch how he's a dog and maybe he can develop into that kind of player?
yeah.
Like, that'd be perfect. Bring in Pat Bev, let him coach these young dudes up, let them toughen them up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And then they'll be ready to play by the time Pat Bev ain't here anymore. Like, you see in what was everyone saying about Wiggins before he before he gets to the Warriors? Oh, I can't believe the Warriors are taking him on. They're making a mistake. That big contract, blah, blah, blah. Draymond Green, Steph Curry, these veterans that are like tough and have like been there, done that, and they know how to bring toughness and leadership every single game. Andrew Wiggins was taking Luka 101 yesterday, toughening them up. You know what I'm saying? Like a beast, throwing down on them, getting putbacks, really doing winning plays. And that comes from having guys like Pat Bev or a PJ Tucker, guys like that.
Right. Shout out to my man Chio. What's up, fellas? Joe the John needs a green screen, put a stadium or locker room behind you. I feel you, man. I feel you. But all in time. I'm in some transitions right now, but all in time. And make sure you check out Chio's Body Slams podcast on Thursday nights. Any wrestling fans out there, it's really interesting. He does a great job. And Chio and Dennis both really were big helps to me in trying to get some of this equipment and all set up. So thanks a lot, Chio. I appreciate it. Here's our man Chris Rapizzi. What's up, dog? How you doing, man?
Dog? What's up, Chris?
But no, man. I mean, the Sixers just got to get somebody, some toughness, and then I read another article where Thibault might be on the move.
All right, that one I believe.
I do.
That one I believe. That one we've seen what he does here, and I feel like there's teams he can help. He don't help us because we're so thin at other places that we can't just use him as a defensive guy. We need that role to fill a lot more than what Thibault fills.
Yeah, well, we need a guy to play defense and also be able to hit a shot. All
right, how about this, right?
Mm-hmm.
I seen Matisse Thybulle to the Bulls for Kobe White.
Okay.
Kobe White averaged 12.7 points per game this year. He's about 6'5". He's a pretty big guard. He's not a slouch on defense. You know what I mean? He'll be our sixth guy off the bench, which realistically, we were missing that big time this year. What were we saying most of the year? If Maxey went coming off the bench, we'd probably be a more effective team.
Yeah, he could be like our Tyler Hero.
Right, but if you added a player like Kobe White, then Maxey doesn't have to go to the bench. Kobe White's your sixth guy. Similar to a Maxey kind of player. He could score. And he averaged more points than last year, the year before that, when he actually got more playing time.
Yeah, here's one I would love, but I don't see it happen. And Thibault and Harris for Levine. I mean, that would be too good to be true. You were saying you were thinking that the Lakers are trying to make a move for Zach Levine, which I don't know how, but they LeBron they'll find a way. And Mark also likes Kobe White. I agree. I like that kid Kobe White.
He's a player.
And Chris, we touched on this earlier about the Phillies game. JT got tricked at third. Yeah, we want to strangle JT right now. He's just really overpaid right now.
Yeah,
but
I think that's the move to make though. Try to move Matisse for a piece that fills our needs better. You know what I mean? And if there's some way you can unload Tobias's contract and maybe add a role player for 1/4 of the price that you can afford, and then maybe get rid of Danny Green, cut Danny Green and save that $10 million, maybe you can have something there.
Yeah, whatchamacallit? Well, here's what if you somehow found a way to move Tobias and Matisse to a team like Oklahoma City, because they have the salary cap room, right? And you got back like a Dort or somebody or one of their young guys.
Dort too.
You know what I mean? And maybe you'd have to give up another pick or a pick swap, and then and then you have the cap room to go get another a few role players, or maybe like even another star. I mean, I'm not really sure. One thing I really disagree with Daryl
Green is a
Morey
free agent. Danny Green is a free agent.
Yeah, Danny Green. Well,
Yeah,
Danny.
he got a club option, 10 mil. No, it's not even a club option. I think it's just not guaranteed, so we can cut him.
Yeah, but they may sign him because on draft night, since Danny Green's contract is an expiring contract, the Sixers could guarantee that 10 million, use him in as a trade, and a team may take that off just to get rid of one of their contracts to have an expiring contract. You know what I mean? Because I mean, you know how the NBA is, man. I mean, you trade contracts. I mean, the Sixers traded
Al Horford. Al Horford went to Oklahoma City and they deactivated him like halfway through the year and sat him on the bench for the year.
I think the Sixers one year traded Big Dog Robinson just his contract, and he didn't even play. You know what I mean? Because that's how.
Yeah, you just trade the money.
Yeah, Adam's saying right here, thought he was free, but they could use him in a trade, like I'm saying. Yeah, so that's right. That's what I was reading, because
could you cut him though and gain that 10 million?
Yeah, but the problem is that they're already over the cap. So
yeah, but if you're moving Tobias, I'm saying.
Oh, I see what I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Now you're making that say Tobias 37 million against the cap. Danny Green's 10. You move Tobias, you get rid of Danny Green, you now freed up 47 million for next year. Now you still might think that might only free up technically about 20 million. You know what I'm saying? But you still got to have 20 million to go on a player or two players.
Yeah, Chris Rapizzi, Harris is getting paid. Yeah, that's true. But I'll tell you what, though. I know I thought Tobias played well towards the stretch of the year last year.
I feel like a young team, but that was pretty good last year. Like Cleveland, they could possibly take him. Maybe like a Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind maybe even what's Gordon? Doesn't Gordon Howard have a huge contract? Hayward?
He does. In all honesty,
I'd swap that.
Well, I was gonna say Gordon Hayward wouldn't be he gets hurt a lot. That's his only problem. But Gordon Hayward probably would be a better fit because he could play the three and he could shoot. And I've always thought it's easier to find stretch fours than it is threes. Like that's the problem the Sixers got. We don't have a 3-man right now, and that's big because we don't have a
3-man. I mean, Tobias is a stretch 4, but he gets no boards.
I know,
and I feel like to be that stretch 4, you've got to be able to board. Like Kevin Love's your perfect stretch 4. Tobias is like in the middle of a 4 and a 3. He's like a 3.5.
Right. Yeah, Adam brings up the point here. Here's the problem. You have to take money back, but a team like OKC would take him. However, they would want a first-round pick, and the Sixers are short on those. Yeah, that's true, because we owe Oklahoma City a pick for a Horford trade last year already. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know what we could do. I mean, here's the thought. Maybe you could trade Thibault for a first-round pick, a future pick or whatever, and then then you could turn around and trade that in the package with Harris to get rid of his money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a thought too.
He's got to be clever. He's got to free up money. He's got to be – they're going to do a lot of work.
Well, I mean, this is why we got Daryl Morey. Daryl Morey supposedly is the he's supposedly a guy that can make things happen. I mean, and he did in Houston. I mean, I remember when Houston went out and got Chris Paul, and then he goes out and gets Russell Westbrook. I mean, Houston was without picks.
He made stuff happen.
Yeah, he can find a way. So, but whatever he makes happen, he needs to make a 3-man happen because we have no 3-men, and he needs to make a bench happen because this bench is just unacceptable. I mean, these guys, they're not going to win anything with the lack of depth they have.
See, this is the reason Tyrese Maxey's untouchable. They say, how much is Maxey making? $1.5, $2 million.
Exactly.
That's a reason. That's a big reason he's untouchable.
Devereaux Sports checking in. Chris Rapizzi, not much. He's on his rookie deal for 2 more years.
I feel like I was looking. I feel like it was around like $2.2 million or something like that. It's nothing. It's like pretty much having like a free player, a free 20 points a game.
I know.
Well, I get it when they say Maxie's untouchable. I just don't know if his talent's untouchable.
I love the kid. I mean, I don't want to trade him. I don't want to trade him for anybody. I know you don't, but like we were saying last week,
Donovan Mitchell, I would.
Donovan Mitchell, I would. If you told me I was getting Donovan Mitchell, as much as I love Maxey, I'd really have to think about that.
Donovan Mitchell, I would, and Kuzma and Beal, I would.
Yeah, if we were getting Kuzma and Beal, even as a Maxey guy, I probably would have to do that because
they're like the only two trades I can see that could be available that I would do. But then again, I can see somebody being like, nah, he's going to be Mitchell and he's going to be Beal next year. You know what I mean? He already averaged 17 this year. Why can't he average 23? I understand that train of thought. It's just you're taking that with chance, and we already know what Beal and Mitchell do.
Right. And then another problem the Sixers got is we won't know until June 1st whether they have a first-round pick or not because right now our pick would be the 23rd. The Nets have until June 1st to decide whether they want to keep it or take it. And I know
you read that they want to defer it, and I read that they want to take it. So who knows?
Yeah, I was gonna say you really don't know. I mean, if I were them, I would probably defer it just because I'm more of a gambling man, and to me, there's only 30 first-round picks anyway, and 23rd isn't the greatest value. If I'm the Nets, I would take the chance that, maybe Embiid gets hurt or Harden gets hurt and all of a sudden that becomes a late lottery pick. You know what I mean? That's the chance that's the chance I would take.
Embiid gets hurt, we could be picking like 12.
Honestly, based off of this year, if we didn't have Embiid this year, we would have been like top 6 probably. Possibly. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Adam Papa with the point here, he wonders if Harden takes a discount. I really think he does. I think that because any team that can pay him what he'd be getting, like 40-some million, is all non-competitive teams. And if you're a non-competitive team, there's no reason why you pay a guy like James Harden at his age $40 million a year.
Yeah, but who says people in the organization aren't looking at it like, yo, we don't want this dude long term?
Well, see, I feel
just because Morey loves him and Morey loves him and that's his guy doesn't mean every other person in the organization thinks the same exact way.
That's true.
There could be people like, yo, you know what? Let him opt in. Let him take his $47 million before we go commit 4 years, 5 years to someone, pay him $60 million in his final year at 37. It's a very delicate situation, right?
I don't think they do that though. I think it's more likely they work out like a 4-year deal where he's making more along the lines of what Chris Paul's making.
Yeah, but who says it's even worth that?
Well, I got to be honest. I don't think. I'm not
in love with James Harden for the next 4 years. Tell you the truth.
I'm not even at
$150 million.
Yeah, I'm not either. But I don't think they would have made the trade unless they knew something.
Yeah, but to me, it seemed like everyone thought that we had Houston James Harden coming in.
Chris Rapizzi, we got good strippers here too. Yeah, that's true. And you know what? Daryl Morey's so in love with Harden, you almost wonder if maybe Harden helped him get laid one night or something. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
I don't know, dude. That contract and how he looked last year, that could put you. All right, we did this long process, right, to win a championship. You go and give a player that's done, even $150 million. That's really gonna hurt your team.
No, look at the Lakers with Russell Westbrook. I mean, they're saddled with that right now.
It's really going to hurt your team. So like I said, Morey loves them. There's a lot more people in that organization than just Daryl Morey.
That's true.
And there's a lot more people in Joe Harris's ear than Daryl Morey. You know what I'm saying? So you can easily be like, all right, man, like we're not ready to commit to him for a 5-year max deal. We're not ready to commit to him for 4 years, $150 million. So in reality, the only option he has is to opt into his next year. us let him play his year out. Let's be real. No one's paying harder what we're paying him.
No.
So he can play his year at $47 million. You trade Tobias Matisse, will cut Danny Green, shake things up a little bit, go in almost with the same exact big three and add around it. You know what I'm saying? Little young cheap guys that you can finagle money around to do. You know what I'm saying? Let him play out his $47 million this year. Make your decision on him at the end of next year.
No, I hear you, man. But hey, it's going to be a really interesting offseason, obviously. I mean, the Sixers, unfortunately, even though Daryl Morey says they have a lot of options, I disagree. I feel like his hands are kind of tied, but I'm hoping he can make moves. But, we'll spend a lot of time, obviously in the coming weeks between the draft and, after we get over the NBA finals and stuff like that, free agency. We'll have a lot more Sixers talk to get into, but I want to get into a guy that's making unbelievable moves. Our Philadelphia Eagles general manager, Howie Roseman.
Everyone's got to stop. We better not hear any shit talking about Howie anymore.
Well,
he misses on drafts. I get it. Every general manager misses on draft picks. If you go back to every draft, I'm sure you can find a lot of misses in the draft. So he takes care of business when it comes to making moves and putting this team in position to win.
Well, I mean, look at James Bradberry. I mean, we were calling for it, and I said on the show it was either last week or the week before that I was listening to WIP and that one of the Eagles writers was saying he didn't think it was going to happen. That basically we would be getting like a Xavier Rhodes for a year, and I was like, oh man, you know what I mean? Like, because I really wanted Bradberry to go with. To go with Darius and sure as shit, Howie Roseman finds a way to make it happen. I mean, this is like 2017 Howie Roseman.
Great draft, in my opinion. Great draft. You somehow get a Gobi Dean in the third round, unbelievable. You get to that center, and you got the beastie tackle. You add AJ Brown in the middle of that. You add AJ Brown, you add Bradberry. He made some moves, dude.
Don't forget the linebacker from the Chargers.
Right, Kaiser White.
Yeah, I was going to say our FedEx guy, the huge Chargers fan. He was kind of upset they let him go. He said he was one of the better linebackers last year.
Yep, Kaiser White.
So that was a good move. And this kid has some speed. And then, I mean, the only position that I'm a little concerned about is the safety position. But then, you read a lot of articles and. Apparently the Eagles seem to really like this kid, Marcus Epps. I mean, I'm not in love with him, but I mean, hey, they know better than us. They're looking at the film and they see what he can do. And if you put two really good corners next to each other,
pressure from the line.
And if you get pressure from the line, you put two good corners together.
Safety.
Yeah, the safety doesn't have to be quite as impactful. Now, if they went out and got Jeremy Bates, whoa, you know what I mean?
Justin, right?
I thought it was Jeremy. What? Either way, the guy from Cincinnati.
I would take him. He's pretty good. Or that dude Clark from Baltimore.
Who?
That dude Clark.
Yeah, well, I mean, apparently we were interested in him. He's from Philly, and the Eagles. I was thinking maybe they could have found a way to make that happen, like Baltimore take a chance on Jalen Reagor and maybe like a 4th or 5th round pick. Yeah, because Jalen Reagor stinks here.
Yeah, but they just cut Marquise Brown, so they need a receiver.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, he could have possibly gone to
trade him. My bad.
Maybe you could make something like that happen, and and get into this. Here's something, Chris. Chris, we were going to get into this. Not sure if you guys talked about it. Foles to the Colts. I thought Colts. I think that's a good move for them. And here's another one here. Pat Bernard, the Gobbler. Thoughts that went around about how he wanted to give Nick Foles a third go around. Thoughts. I was cool with it. I was all right with it because you could have possibly traded Minshew for maybe a 4th or 5th round pick. But the only problem with that is then you have, if Jalen Hurts struggles a little bit, then you're going to have all the fan base wanting Foles in. So I know, Diego, you weren't in love with that idea.
Yeah, no interest. I mean, Foles won us a Super Bowl. he can come back after he retires and do the cool ceremonies and stuff like that. But like, we already know how that's going to go.
Mm-hmm.
We already know how that's going to go. It's going to go. Jalen Hurts struggle. He can have 5 good weeks in a row, and then he has 1 or 2 really bad games, and there you got everyone. Put Nick Foles in. Thinking Nick Foles is going to come in and do what he did that year every single year. Different coach, different system, different players, different everything, and he's going to come and save the day again. And you know that's how this fan base is, and I just don't think that's the case.
Right, and it's also 5, and he's also 5 years older. But
Foles was a perfect time, perfect place, perfect situation.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was perfect for us. It was fate that year. Let's be real. That was fate. No one thought we were winning the Super Bowl going into the year.
No, it was like as Anthony Gargano says, it was like the year of the blue snow. I mean,
exactly.
We weren't. I mean, we were coming off a year where we were mediocre. I think we were like 7-9 in Wentz's first year.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, and if you think about it, we were on the verge of going 1-2. If Jake Elliott doesn't hit that 60-some yard field goal, we possibly lose
63 yards, 2 yards.
Yeah, 63 yarder. We possibly lose to the Giants, and we're 1-2 at that point. Instead, he makes it. We wind up winning like what I think we got to like 7-1 or 8-1 or something like that. And I remember we were just beating everybody's ass. I mean, I remember the Denver game in particular. I mean, we commented on it before where they kicked Denver's ass, and everybody in the city was like, "Wow, these guys are really good." Because not only were they winning, but they were winning and they were talking shit and they were dancing. I mean, it was great.
They were winning decisively too. They were just burying everybody every week.
Yeah, that was
it was like fate. Like I'm saying, like nobody could have took the field against the Eagles that year and won. We were beating everybody. Didn't matter. Then the next year we went on, and I know Nick Foles got us back to the playoffs, whatever, but he didn't win the Super Bowl again. The magic was done. You know what I'm saying? That's where the magic ended.
Yeah, well, so going forward with the Eagles, though, I mean, you look at the schedule. I mean, the first part of the schedule. I mean, I'm seeing a real possibility of 2-0, and then we play the Cardinals early in the year, which is really good because Hopkins will be out. And they got all that, Kyler Murray drama going on. You don't know how that's going to pan out. Unhappy players and shit.
Well,
exactly. So I mean, if they, everything's going to come down basically. I mean, let's hope this kid hurts. Let's hope he can really play because they certainly got the weapons. I mean,
I'll tell you what, I better not hear one Jalen Hurts excuse this year.
There is no excuse.
There's no defending Jalen Hurts this year. My man has to. He threw 16 touchdowns last year or something like that. That number has to be around 25. No reason it shouldn't. Around 4,200 yards and about 600-700 yards rushing. If he ain't got that numbers, he ain't our quarterback. This offense is ridiculous.
Well, he's like you were saying, he's a real dark horse for MVP. I mean, if he does put up the numbers that you anticipate he possibly can put up, so say 25 touchdown passes to 30, right? Say like another 8 to 10 to 11 rushing touchdowns, 4,000 yards. I mean they're like MVP candidate type numbers. I mean that's like Lamar Jackson type numbers. But
they're numbers of quarterbacks that win in this league.
What's that?
The numbers of quarterbacks that win in this league. You know what I mean? Like if we think Jalen Hurts, all right, ready? Derek Carr threw 4,400 yards last year.
Mm-hmm.
Derek Carr's about the 12th, 13th best quarterback in the league, maybe?
I would say so, yeah.
You got to do that. Right?
Yeah, I would say so. And ironically, because Derek Carr is really good, but he's the 4th best quarterback in his division. Isn't that crazy?
That's insane. That's what I'm saying. He's about the 12. He's if you're the 12th best quarterback in the NFL, that means you're the 12th best quarterback in the world. That means you're pretty damn good at what you do. But I mean, if Jalen Hurts ain't even giving me Derek Carr numbers with AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Goddard, Miles Sanders, our great O-line, then I don't want to hear an excuse. He's trash. And I actually talked myself back into him.
Mm-hmm.
I do think he's a hard worker. You know, it seems like everyone on the team trusts him and really is behind him. You know, so I'm banking on that he got He's taken that next step, not missing the anticipation throws, which is his biggest thing. Hit these anticipation throws, and he's not a bad decision maker. He don't turn the ball over much. He's a pretty good decision maker. He's a great runner. He can't throw the ball deep. He got no arm strength, but if he can make his anticipation throws on time, AJ Brown and Devontae Smith will do the rest.
Yeah, no, and Quez Watkins. I was watching
and Quez, yeah, exactly.
I was going to say they're real high on Quez Watkins, and I was watching something. This guy was breaking down Quez Watkins in the playoff game against Tampa Bay, and it's a shame Jalen Hurts struggled so bad because Quez Watkins literally was open all game. Especially, remember he was wide open for that long touchdown pass.
Yeah.
So Bill Woodmender with a question here. He goes, "Do you think he has a strong arm to get it out there?"
He doesn't, but if he throws it on time, if he makes that decision on time, remember last year against San Francisco, perfect with Quez Watkins. Quez Watkins beats the guy right off the line. Jalen Hurts times that throw perfect, puts it right on. He runs 93 yards, gets tackled inside the 10.
Yeah,
he didn't make that throw again all year. He missed it over and over and over and over again. If you make throws like that consistently, or the ones across the middle on time, your receivers take care of the rest. AJ Brown will catch the ball 6 yards from the line of scrimmage and run 75 yards. He's a monster.
No, that's true. AJ Brown's got a little bit of TO in him.
Yeah, TO, he does. He's a beast. And he can play close to the line of scrimmage, which in reality, that should be Hurts' strength. It should be easy to make these throws to AJ Brown and let him pick up 6-7 yards after the carry. It's like TO.
No, I hear you, man. But hey, I mean, we obviously in the next couple months we'll have a lot more football talk. But that's I mean, I'm in love with what Howie Roseman's been doing. And, we're going to get out of here in a few minutes, but real quick, Diego, the other thing that's going on right now, what's your thoughts? Because we got a big game tonight. We got the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics playing tonight in a pivotal game 4. What's your thoughts right now about the conference finals? I mean, obviously it looks like Golden, to me, I'm calling it right now. I feel like Golden State's winning the whole thing. I mean, I don't see anybody beating Golden State.
The Boston and Miami series has been good. That Golden State's just so much better than Dallas.
Yeah,
it's not a fun conference finals at all. So I mean, the conference finals been all right. It should be a good final, but I think Golden State even handles whoever in no more than 6.
I agree. I mean, the one thing I'll give the credit to Miami and Boston is that they both play. I mean, they both really, really bring the defense.
It's hard to play defense against Golden State, dude.
Well,
that's one thing. That's what I was saying earlier. They try to throw so many different kind of schemes at them, and they shoot right over it. If you play them man, Jordan Poole and Steph Curry blow right past you. If you play them zone, they literally shoot right over top of the zone.
Right.
You can't play Steph Curry zone because if you give him an inch, you're done.
Yeah, Bill Woodmender right here. He's got Golden State versus the Heat. Well, we'll see what happens tonight because I know the Heat. Tyler Hero's out.
I got Boston winning the series, though. I think.
Yeah, well, Tyler Hero's out, and Jimmy Butler, I believe, is going to play, but I think he's warming up.
That's another thing. Marcus Smart, really bad, twisted his ankle really bad. That dude, Robert Williams, which I feel like they would need in Golden State because they got to out-rebound Golden State to beat them. He's dealing with an injury. Jimmy Butler's been dealing with a knee injury. You don't know how healthy Kyle Lowry's hamstring is. Tyler Hero's out tonight. Golden State's going to wash whoever they play in the finals. They're relatively healthy.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that could stop Golden State, it's funny, I didn't see a ton of the game last night, but what I did see was Steph Curry almost twisted his ankle off the dude selling the drinks on the sidelines. You see that?
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Could you imagine if that's how he got hurt?
You know what? Can you imagine the Sixers are ready to win the championship? We're up 3 games to 1. and some jerk off like makes Embiid get hurt and they lose 300. Can you imagine? Like that would be like the total. That would be like the total curse of the process. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You see
Like,
the lady. You see the lady at the game yesterday at the Mavericks game, Dallas game. First row, she fell. Like an old lady fell walking back to her seat in the front row. They had to stop the whole entire game.
Oh, I heard that. Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? What's going on here?
I know. Well, it's weird because like supposedly there's like Dallas got fined or something for like stuff on their sidelines or whatever. I wasn't really. What's that?
With the white t-shirts.
Oh, was that what it was?
I'm not sure, but I was watching that the other day. They were in Golden State, I believe. Yeah, Golden State. And what Golden State had the white jerseys on, right?
Okay.
And the dude, Theo Pinkston, standing on a sideline right like where the play's happening in the corner with a white t-shirt on. So Steph Curry real quick just throws it out of bounds.
Okay.
I thought in my head right away, I was like, damn, that's messed up. He's standing like right in the play with a white shirt on. These NBA players are seeing a lot of things out of their peripheral vision. You know, so you just see white over there. You're thinking it's your player, you throw it over there. So yesterday before the game, the referee went over to the dude Pinkston, Theo, and he had a white t-shirt on again. He said, yo, can you go back and change that shirt? And the dude did it. So that's probably why the fine came down. Because they probably went over and told him. I'm not saying it did because I'm not sure if that's the case, but that's the only thing I heard that they could have been fined for.
Well, that's like when we were kids back in the day. You'd have shirts versus skins because sometimes, you know what I mean? Because basketball is a lot of peripheral vision. You know, you're running down the court and you see a guy out of the corner of your eyes. If they're both wearing the same color, I mean, it definitely can mess you up.
That's what I mean. So, like, especially the NBA is so fast. You know, I felt like.
I was going to say, if nothing else, you could use that, John, as an excuse. Be like, yo, man, I got confused by the shirt. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I'm bad pants, but it wasn't my fault.
Yeah, yo, that John slipped out of my hand. You know what I mean? I saw, he had red on too, you know?
Yeah, so, but I think it's a pretty simple picture unless something bad happens to Golden State. Like the dude breaks his ankle on the pretzel guy.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, listen, we're going to wrap it up. We know we're not going to be around. Obviously, next Monday's Memorial Day, so we're going to take the week off. And wait, hang on right here. Joe, remember playing football on the old guys' lawn? Yeah, I remember, dude. We had me and Bill Woodmender and a lot of the guys, man. We used to have some football wars, man. Football, basketball. We were. That's all we did playing sports back in the day, man. We used to play a lot of stuff. But anyway, so we'll be off next week, and I'm going to predict. I think Golden State sweeps Dallas out. I think they put them out of their misery tomorrow night. I think the Miami Boston series I think goes 7. I'm kind of with you, Diego. I actually think Boston's going to find a way to win that series, and Boston is really a tough team. And they actually match up pretty good with Golden State, but I'm going with Golden State wins the whole thing. I think in 6. That's what I
agree.
I agree. But anyway, hey everybody out there, thanks for checking in. If you enjoy the show, give us a like, and we'll be back in a couple weeks. Make sure you check out all the shows on Devereaux Sports, including. We got the soccer guys tomorrow night, I believe. We have a video game show on Thursday night, which I had the privilege of being on. I wasn't supposed to be on it, but I got to be on it. It was a lot of fun. I got to get my Mike Tyson's Punch Out and NHL 94 talk on, so I got to take it back in the day. Check out the Body Slams podcast. And then on Thursday night, my man Mike Laura with the Locker Room Show. I'm lucky enough to be his guest. And we'll be breaking down the NFL schedule. And so anyway, check everything out. Enjoy your Memorial Day. Everybody have a great time. And go Phillies.
All right, y'all.